What's up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of a 6-part series. In parts 1 and 2, I shared with you the simple process I use to create unlimited coloring patterns and how to package everything using Affinity Publisher. Please watch parts 1 and 2 if you haven't seen them, as this video will only make sense if you do. You can access both videos by using the links in the description box or the links in the upper corners of this video. In today's episode, I'm going back to my patterns in Affinity Publisher to add some flesh to the skeleton I created in part 2. Don't get me wrong, you can publish the patterns as is, but variety is a spice of life, so I'm going to share with you how to mix things up by creating a pattern coloring book with inspirational quotes. My name is Samantha, and around these parts, I'm known as the Get It Done Girl. If you're new here, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe to the tribe. If you're an OG, thank you for your continued support. Let's get into our tutorial. So these are the 10 patterns I plugged into Affinity Publisher in part 2, so I will be reusing the exact same template. Since the coloring book is inspirational, I'm going to need some quotes. I have 2 quotes that I put together, and these will be placed on top of my patterns. A word of caution: when you're using quotes, especially famous ones, always check to ensure that you're not infringing on someone's intellectual property. And remember, copyright does not protect the idea, only the exact words. So for example, the quote, "Change is the only constant," might be copyrighted, but that doesn't mean you cannot spin the text to maintain the idea without using the same verbiage or words. I did not do a copyright check for these quotes that I will be using in this coloring book, as I'm simply using them for the demonstration. Whatever I'm doing here will not be published and is merely a model for you to follow. For your inspirational pattern coloring book to capture attention, you cannot simply throw some text on a pattern and leave it as is. It has to be coordinated and well designed. The right font type and size need to be implemented, and in some cases, adding text effects allows everything to stand out. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw my text on a blank page and arrange everything so that it sits nicely on top of my pattern. Let's go. So the first quote I will be using is, "There is greatness in you." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a page here and just put everything that I need on it. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to create another page for my second quote. I'm going to activate my guides, and I simply hold Control, Shift, and the double keys to access my grids and guides. So the first quote is going to be, "There is greatness in you." There is greatness in you. And this appears without a fill because I was actually fooling around in Affinity Publisher prior to this demonstration. So "there is greatness in you" is my first quote. The second quote is going to be, "Make like a tree and grow." These are corny, I know, but it is just for demonstration purposes. So make like a tree and grow. So now that I have my quotes in Affinity Publisher, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fool around with this to see how I'm going to align them on each pattern. Now, a word of advice when working with coloring books, especially when you're using inspirational quotes, it's always best to use fonts with a bit of a thickness to it. And that way you can create them large enough so that persons will be able to color in. But if the font has little to no thickness, it is going to be very difficult. So bear that in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fool around with this. I'm going to be using Montserrat font. So there is, let's copy this. Greatness. This is 72 points. I think I want this to be more pronounced, or for the greatness to stand out on the page. So I'm going to strip the fill, and the option, well, I usually keep the color option or feature accessible to my right, but if you're not seeing this in your window, simply come up here, go to View, Studio, and select the color. Because I'm already working with mine, the tick is right behind it. So this is how you'd know if the color wheel is available. And I call it wheel, but it has a correct name. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to highlight these, and I'm going to ensure that it has an outline. So I'm going to put the outline in black. Then this is a fill. I'm going to put it in white, or I could just simply use this option, but I'm just going to leave it as white. So I'm going to go back to the outline. This is stroke, and I'm going to increase the stroke of my font. Going to leave it as is. There is greatness in you. Now, sometimes I find that it's important to add small elements to enhance the quote. So sometimes you might have to add like an image or so. So that's what I'm going to do. I already downloaded something that I think I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to add it here and here. So I'm going to use the place image tool, and I'm going to locate the image that I will be using. Images. So I'll be adding this here just to enhance my design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click to change the fill and give it an outline. But I'm going to go back and I'm just going to check to see what stroke width I gave the font or the text. And this is 3.1 point. So the fill is going to be set to white. the stroke is already set to black, and I'm just going to increase the point. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to just look at what it looks like. I need to increase it a bit more. So maybe to a 10. Let's look at it again. I think this is okay as is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this up, and I'm also going to shrink it. I'm going to do the same for this one, and I'm also going to shrink it a bit. I'm going to copy this, and I am going to spin it around. Let's remove my guides, and I think this is okay as is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group everything, and then I'm just going to drop this on top of my first pattern. So my first pattern is this one. Drop it on top, and I'm going to locate the effects feature, and this should be it. I'm going to give this an outline so it's more pronounced, or persons are able to see and color it. Outline. Let's see what black looks like. So this is what the text looks like if I leave it in black. And as you can see, the images, they are affected. So there's something else that I could do to really avoid this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to I'm going to select white to see what it does, if it looks better on the page. So this is how it looks when it's white. This looks okay, but I think I might prefer the black. So that's what I'm going to change it back to. So I think I like this as is. So I'm going to leave this. If I need to come back to it to make any changes, I will. So I'm going to move on to my next quote, and this is "Make like a tree and grow." Activate my guides. Make I think I'm going to use an actual tree for this one. Make like a tree and grow. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Make like a tree and grow. I think I want to increase this 96, maybe 144, 144. I'm going to change the font. I'm going to look for a font with a bit of thickness to it. I need to get some new fonts. Make like a, and I did download a tree, so let's get it. So this is make, make like a tree and grow. As corny as it can be, but I love it. All right, so I'm going to start fooling around. Let me give it a stroke. Going to remove the color. Let me strip this tree of its color. Highlight everything. Always highlight everything. And the stroke is already set to black, so I'm just going to set the fill to white. And I am going to increase my stroke. Let's increase it some more to 10. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's remove my guides. Alrighty. Make like a tree and grow. I don't know, should I shrink this? Should I? Okay. Let's see if this is too narrow. I'm going to remove the fill. Let's see, the stroke is 5. I'm going to zoom. This is at 150%. Maybe leave it as is. All right, let's see. Let's group everything. Let's see what happens when I try to add. Okay, not bad. Let me add this to my next pattern. So this is what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like with white. I prefer it with black? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about this? Do you prefer black or do you prefer white? So I have two quotes. There is greatness in you. And I also have make like a tree and grow. I'm going to export this off camera and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like as a PDF. So this is what my coloring book with quotes look like. I could always go back and change this so that the fill looks white. And this is the second image. Oops. I could have actually made this a bit smaller on the page, but this is okay as is for demonstration purposes. So let me know what you think in the comments section, if this is something you're going to try, if the video helped you in any way. And remember, please don't forget to subscribe to help me grow this platform. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.